In the previous lecture, we have to study about the fossil fuel and especially from LPG and CNG in detail structure. What is an LPG, calorific value, how we can use in related to other fuel like as a foreign petrol engine. There are uses, storage, many more things we have to study in our previous lecture from fossil fuel and specially type for a fossil gaseous fuel and study LPG and CNG. Today in this lecture we have to study steam formation and enthalpy of steam, which is the topic covered in the chapter number 4 in the subject of basic of mechanical engineering. Today we have to start chapter number 4, property of steam, and the topic is steam formation and enthalpy of steam. What is the enthalpy, internal energy, what is the dryness fraction? There is a many more things we have to study in this lecture. We have to start steam formation. How the steam formation can form the water? What is the necessity is required to steam formation? Just we have to give some example. You have to also the pressure cooker in our home. We have to some put water inside the cooker, some raw food we have to put inside the water, and again after we giving a external heat and close this cooker. After the some time the water are gaining the heat from the stove and increases temperature. At the saturation level is 100 centigrade, that have to covered. Then after the water are converted into the steam. The basic difference is there. Then water is a form of liquid and steam is a form of gas. When the liquid is converted into the gas, there is a required more and more space, nearly related to 10 times of the liquid volume. But the cooker volume is fixed. There is a no expandable volume for a cooker, so that is the cooker increasing inside the pressure. At the critical level, the pressure are increased inside the cooker. The safety valve are open and balance the pressure. This is the one simple process of steam formation we all know in our home structure, where you have to cooking our food. Let's we have to start in our topic steam formation. Here is a given a one cylinder. Just have to give the pen marking. This is a one cylinder and give a one piston. Here is a volume of water and give a one weight to balance the steam. Is a basic structure. That's the start from first figure. First we have to considering the water temperature is nearly atmospheric temperature, or for this topic in our syllabus part we have to considering 0 on centigrade water. Let the temperature of water is a 0 on centigrade. Then after we have to give externally heat from the bottom side of the cylinder. That's what happened. The temperature from 0 on centigrade to increasing order. Means the water are gaining the heat from the external heat, and then what happened inside the water? That's a change in density and required more volume, and it's give the pressure on the piston. The change in density because of we are giving a externally heat to a water and create a vibration, and it's required more and more spaces inside the cylinder. That's what happened. The piston move upward direction and is balance the weight of the piston we have to put outside the piston. That's called as a VF, volume of fluid. This portion are called as a volume of fluid. At this time the water take a temperature up to 100 on centigrade, not more than 100. We have to giving a heat up to 100 on centigrade. For this condition, second, first condition the water temperature is 0 on centigrade. Second condition the water temperature is in 100 on centigrade. Then after the third condition, the water are converted into the steam. Here is a form of liquid and here is a form of gas. Liquid means it's called as a water and gas it means called as a steam. The gas are require a maximum space to inside the cylinder, but the volume of cylinder is fixed, so it's creating a pressure inside the cylinder. Here the inside the cylinder the pressure are increasing. Next thing is that it's the pressure are acting on the piston and piston giving a downward force due to the gravitational force plus additional mass we have to put on side the cylinder. Both of the pressure are maintaining a balanced pressure. If the give more and more heat inside the cylinder, the more and more water are converted into the steam and it's required a more and more volume, so it's creating higher pressure and force acting upward side of the piston, so piston move in a upward direction to balance the steam force. Here is a partially water and partially steam. Then after the next condition, water are totally converted into the steam and the piston moves slightly upward direction to balance the force. This volume are called as a volume of gas. Here a complete liquid, then we can say as a, here is a completely liquid form, so that we can say as a volume of fluid. And here the completely gas form or completely steam form, so that we have to say as a volume of gas and piston move in upward direction. There is a no particle of water. And the next condition, we give the more heat into the cylinder, the steam are converted into the superheated steam. In the last condition, we give more and more heat to the cylinder and the all water particles are converted into the 100 percentage of gas. That's called as a volume of superheated condition. Here we have to add the volume of superheated condition. First is a volume of fluid, second is a volume of gas, and third is a volume of super. There is a no liquid particle inside the cylinder. Total water are converted into the steam. If you have to considering for number of particle is available in there, that is defined by x, dryness fraction x. Dryness fraction value is laid between 0 to 1. Well, this description also noted that the steam formation. Then after the next, we have to start at steam formation for 0 on centigrade. Here is a point is noted as 0 on centigrade, B point noted as 100 on centigrade in a form of liquid or water. Here is a C point is noted as 100 on centigrade in a form of gas, and here is a form of liquid. Then after the D point is noted as a more than 100 on centigrade, can call as a superheated steam, and 0 on centigrade is denoted by A. If you have to taking a heat from any sources and temperature going to up, that's called as a sensible heat. 0 on centigrade water are taking a heat from the another sources and give its temperature rise, that's called as a sensible heat, and it's maintain a P is equal to C, maintain a constant pressure. There is a maintaining constant pressure at this time, because of there is a no change in liquid form. This continue in a form of liquid. This form called as a HF, enthalpy of fluid. Then after it's complete at 100 on centigrade, that's called as a saturated temperature. Saturated temperature is nearly 100 on centigrade, when the water can start convert from liquid form to gas form. Means water start from water to steam. Then after, the water are converted into the steam. From this portion, water are converted from its liquid form to do gas form at 100 centigrade. That point also maintain constant pressure, but that heat is called as a latent heat. This heat is called as a latent heat. So what is the definition for sensible heat and latent heat? For a sensible heat, for any types of the fluid are taking a heat or rejecting heat, that's called as a sensible heat. If any fluid are taking a constant temperature and change the phase from any forms, that's called as a latent heat. Means the ice is converted taking a heat from the atmosphere at a constant temperature and convert ice form to water, that's called as a acting latent heat. Also same that we have to say here, the liquid from water is converted as a gases from or steam, that's also called as a latent heat, but its temperature remain constant in a latent heat. Then after you give more and more heat for the steam, is converted into the superheated steam, that's called as a enthalpy of superheat. First we have to start 0 centigrade sensible heat, that's taking a heat converted into the 100 centigrade at constant temperature into the steam, and then after giving a more heat, it's converted into the superheated steam. Let's we have to try to understand types of steam. There is three type of the steam: wet steam, dry steam, and superheated steam. Before we have to start type of steam, we have to know about dryness fraction x. What is the dryness fraction x? Dryness fraction x means that number of dry particle available inside the steam is denoted by x. The value laid between x is equal to 0 to 1. The maximum value is 1 and minimum value is 0. If we have to say the x is equal to 0, that means the water are completely in a liquid form. Then after we have to say the value for x is equal to 1, that's called as a water are complete in a gaseous form, means it's converted into the steam. X is equal to dryness fraction, and meaning for dryness fraction is the number of dry particle available inside the stream. Let's go to start the understand definition. A wet steam is two phase of mixture, water molecular and steam molecular, but they are equilibrium condition at the saturated temperature corresponding to given a temperature pressure. The pressure are not fixed, but the two phase of the mixture are available is there. Water molecular also available is there, and steam particle also available in there, but the both are in a equilibrium state, that's called as a wet steam. Both of the particle is there available. Then after the quality of the wet steam is specified by the dryness fraction. We have to measure the quality of the steam. We have to identify that the number of dry particle is there and number of the wet particle is there, how many dry particles and how many wet particle. But we have to only find one, dryness fraction x, number of dry particle, then we have to measure also a wet particle, or which indicate the amount of dry steam present in a given quantity of wet steam, and is denoted by x, dryness fraction. How we can define the dryness fraction x? The mass of dry steam present in a wet steam, means number of dry particle available in the steam, and then after the ratio of total mass of wet steam. Total mass of wet steam means we have to considering both mass of water and mass of steam. Here ms is equal to mass of steam and mw is equal to mass of water. The ratio of dryness fraction is mass of dry steam present in the wet steam and total mass of the wet steam. Next, wetness fraction we have to already discussed in earlier, the mass of present particle and the mass of total steam, that's called as a wet steam. Then after we do second definition is dry saturated steam, a steam at saturated temperature corresponding to given a pressure having a no water molecular enter in the particle, that's known as a dry saturated steam. These points are more important. No any water molecular available in this steam, that's called as a dry saturated steam. Its dryness fraction will be unity, means if the value x is equal to 1, completely dry steam. Then after the next definition is superheated steam. When the dry saturated steam is heated further at a given constant pressure and its temperature rise beyond its saturation temperature, that steam called as a superheated steam. Just have to explain in a given example. If you have to start water boiling from 25 centigrade, that's completely in a liquid form. Then after it's covered 100 centigrade, that's also a complete in a form of liquid. Then after its temperature slightly rise 101 centigrade, the water are converted into the steam, that's called as a saturated temperature, means the totally water are converted into the steam, that's called as a saturated temperature. Saturated temperature are covered at 100 to 150 centigrade, because of the some of the impure water are not boiled at the 100 centigrade and not converted 100% into the steam, that's just taking a more temperature, means 100 to 150 centigrade temperature known as a saturated temperature. Then after we giving a more and more heat to a steam, then after is taking a temperature rise up to 350 centigrade temperature, that's called as a superheated temperature. At this point the steam is completely dry, there is a 0% of water molecules, and this the superheated steam are used in a power plant to operate the steam turbine. Next we have to study enthalpy of steam, the amount of the heat required to rise temperature of 1 kg of water from 0 centigrade. This is the main part of this definition, from 1 kg and 0 centigrade temperature. We have to rise temperature only and only 1 degree at the saturation temperature, that's called as a enthalpy of liquid. The denoted by HF, enthalpy of liquid, and the equation is CPW TF minus 0. HF is represented enthalpy of liquid, CPW means specific heat of water, there is a fixed value 4.1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. TF is a temperature of water in centigrade, and here is a 0 is mentioned, we have to start the measuring from 0 centigrade temperature. I have to repeat that definition. The amount of the heat required to rise the temperature of 1 kg of water from 0 centigrade to its saturation temperature at the given pressure, known as a sensible heat or enthalpy of liquid, and denoted by HF. We also call as a enthalpy sensible heat because of the we are giving a externally temperature to the water, and it's taking a temperature rise. Also is considered in a sensible heat and enthalpy. Then after the enthalpy of dry saturated steam, it's defined a total amount of the heat required to convert 1 kg of water into the 1 kg of dry saturated steam. In the first we have to give the temperature for enthalpy of liquid 0 on centigrade to saturated temperature. Here is a 0 on centigrade to saturated temperature, that's the enthalpy of liquid, and here is a saturated water converted in a dry saturated steam, that's called as a enthalpy of dry saturated steam. His mass is fixed from 1 kg of water converted into the 1 kg of dry saturated steam, that's called as a dry saturated steam. The equation denoted by Hg is equal to Hf plus Hfg. Hg means enthalpy of gas, Hf means enthalpy of fluid, and HFG means enthalpy of fluid plus gas. Here is a mixture of fluid and gas. Some of the water particle is there and some of the steam particle is there. So we have to calculate both the enthalpy of fluid and enthalpy of fluid plus gas. This is called as a dry saturated steam. Then after the next definition is enthalpy of wet steam. It is defined the total amount of the heat supplied at a constant pressure to convert 1 kg of water from 0 on centigrade to 1 kg of wet steam. Here the 0 on centigrade of the temperature is the water and start to convert in a steam, but water are not converted fully into the steam. There is some of the liquid particle is there and there is some steam particle is there. There is a required some mixture in a equilibrium condition in a water form and steam form, that's called as a wet steam. We cannot consider in a completely liquid form or completely gaseous form. The structure laid between the liquid and gaseous form, that's called as a enthalpy of wet steam. Here is a available of wet particle and also a dry particle in there. So we have to give the calculation in the presence of dryness fraction. We have to measure X, how many dry particle available in the steam. The enthalpy of wet steam is denoted by H. Hf means enthalpy of fluid plus X. X is equal to dryness fraction, and Hfg enthalpy of fluid plus gas, and the unit is a kilojoule per kg. This is the equation for enthalpy of wet steam. Then after the enthalpy of superheated steam, if you have to start our liquid or water are converted into the steam at the 100 centigrade, then after we giving a more and more heat to a steam, then after this steam are converted into the superheated steam. There is a no any liquid particle available is there, 100% of is a pure steam. It is defined as the total amount of the heat required to convert 1 kg of the water 0 on centigrade to 1 kg of superheated steam, and is denoted by HSUP. Completely we have to convert water into the steam, 100% dry steam. HSUP, heat required to raise temperature 1 kg of water from boiling point plus heat required to convert the same water from boiling point to dry saturated steam at constant pressure. First we have to giving heat to convert 1 kg of the water at the boiling point means 100 centigrade. Then after the heat, additional heat is required from convert the same water into the dry saturated steam, means we have to giving a temperature rise from 100 centigrade to maximum up to 350 centigrade temperature to convert a superheated steam. Then after this steam are converted into the superheated condition at the temperature limit is 350 centigrade. The equation is given by the enthalpy of superheated steam, HSUP means enthalpy of superheated steam, is equal to HF. HF means enthalpy of fluid plus HFG enthalpy of fluid plus gas, and plus CPS means specific heat at superheated steam at constant pressure. The value is fixed for superheated steam is 2.09 अथवा secondary we can write as a 2.1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. There is a standard measurement value. 2.09 is equal to 2.1 CPS, specific heat of superheated steam at constant pressure. Then after the in multiply by with difference between T superheated minus T saturated, maximum temperature gained by the steam, that's called as a T superheated, and converted temperature from dry saturated steam, that's called as a T saturated. T SUP means temperature of superheated condition, and T SAT means saturated temperature at given pressure. Both are same. And T superheated maximum temperature achieved by the steam, and T saturated when the water are converted into the dry steam. That's called as a enthalpy of superheated steam. Okay, thank you.